till death do us part. The words keep spinning round in my mind, 'cause you'll never be out of my heart. How could I be so blind? I couldn't see you were the best thing in my world. I had a woman and I left her for a girl, and now I'm lying here lying, pretending to love her when it's you I'm thinking about. I'm just lying here lying, making believe instead of making love. You're gone now, I've lost you for sure, but I love you and it's breaking my heart. And somehow I've got to tell her, 'cause it's tearing me apart. And now I lay here feeling guilty in the night. I'm holding her instead of you, and it ain't right. Whoa, I'm lying here lying, pretending to love her when it's you I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm lying, just lying here lying, making believe instead of making love. Pretending to love her when it's you I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm lying here lying, making believe instead of making love.
Hey, my next guest likes to put herself down about her looks, and I happen to like the way she looks. I like the way she works, and I like the way she thinks. In fact, she's giving up part of her Christmas holiday to entertain the patients at the Long Beach, California Veterans Hospital. One of the nicest ladies I know, and certainly the funniest. The other woman in my life, Phyllis Diller, right here.
To see Bob Hope at Christmas because I want to cheer him up. The thing that's bothering him, the only war that's going on has another act booked. But Bob has been so wonderful to me. He asked me what I wanted in my stocking this year. I said, a better-looking leg. I get such rotten gifts from Fang because he is so cheap. Last year, I told him I wanted a waterbed, so now we sleep in the tub. Usually on Christmas Eve, he fires one shot and tells the kids Santa's committed suicide. Once he took the kids and me out for donuts and coffee. The kids loved it because they had never given blood before. One year we had an open house. My turkey exploded. I did a dumb thing. I had stuffed it with popcorn. Blew the roof right off. But my cooking is terrible, and I admit it. The kids gave me an oven that flushes. And it never improves. Just this morning, I broke open an egg and fried a pair of pantyhose. They aren't bad with ketchup. And one year I made the most beautiful angel food cake that you ever saw. And we use it every year to hold up our Christmas tree. Last year, somebody gave me one of those girdles with the magic fingers. Wouldn't you know the one I got had arthritis? It was a bad year for me. I stood under the mistletoe and it died. I was wearing something flimsy. I don't look good nude. The last time I had a physical examination, I had to coax the doctor in off the ledge. He didn't even x-ray me. He held me up to the light. Orson Welles saw me nude once, lost his appetite. My vanity table is a Black & Decker workbench. When I play strip poker, they make me wear 18 blouses and aluminum siding.
Right now, you can send a very special Christmas gift anywhere in the country just by calling your florist. Ask for the Baking Dish Bouquet by Teleflora. This Christmas, a beautiful centerpiece. After Christmas, a Pyrex baking dish and beautiful server. So call your local florist and ask for the Baking Dish Bouquet. With Teleflora, the flowers always come in something as pretty as the flowers themselves.
You've known me a long time. You know I never talk to you about any product without checking it, especially a medicine. Now, you can trust aspirin-free arthritis pain formula. Made strong so it's great for headaches, too. I've checked, and it has aspirin-free, 100% pure pain reliever, no extra additives. Doctors trust the medicine in aspirin-free arthritis pain formula. For minor arthritis pain or your headache, it's effective medicine you can trust.
This Christmas, be ingenious. Give genuine Bell.
Ingenious, genuine Bell.
It's at your Bell Phone Center.
Thursday, in a fight for a lead role, Coco forces a handicapped student to quit.
Can't do it.
On fame. Then,
Let's go to Barbados.
Diane plans a hot holiday getaway. Cheers. And Jim loses his apartment and gets Louie as a roommate with fiery results.
Do you think Louie's going to be upset?
Taxi. Then, for the last time on network television, Emmy Award-winning Hill Street Blues presents
Captain Freedom.
the first of 4 very special encore performances.
Why not stake out NBC Thursday?
It's time for a stroll through Central Park, and who better to help me stay warm and on key than the lovely and talented Olivia Newton-John.
Busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas.
Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile, and on every street corner you hear silver bells.
Silver bells,
It's Christmas time in the city. Ring a
live and ring.
soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of street lights, even stoplights, blink of bright red and green.
News for L.A. This edition with Carol Hutchison. Wishing you a
And above all this bustle, you hear
Here's a gorgeous, talented lady whose presence makes any time of the year joyous and jolly. You know her best as star of WKRP in Cincinnati, in which he put to rest the image of the dumb blonde forever. She's also made several movies for TV, for which she's received critical acclaim. Ladies and gentlemen, Lonnie Anderson, right here. Welcome to our yearly Yule Yak Festival, Lonnie. What's new?
Well, according to the weeklies, I'm getting married, and I'm not getting married, and I'm engaged to Scott Baio. I'm entering a nunnery, and I'm a vampire doomed to walk the earth for all eternity.
Oh, you have been busy. But really, it's amazing what they'll print about celebrities, isn't it?
Yeah, you must have had your share of wild allegations.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that I was the illegitimate son of either Winston Churchill, Disraeli, or Clive Brooke? I'm the father of Sabu, the elephant boy. I sniff A1 sauce. I own the western half of the United States. And I became a transvestite so I could hit from the ladies' tees.
You look just adorable in your maiden form.
Yeah, well, it was someplace to put my mad money. Well, this is your third consecutive Christmas visit, isn't it?
That's true, Bob. And do you think we may be getting into a little rut?
If we are, I hope it's a tight squeeze. But I'm glad you're back because I have some questions for you.
Okay.
You started out as a school teacher, is that right?
Yeah, that's right, before I decided to take acting up full time.
Boy, how come none of my teachers had a figure like that, huh?
Well, you know, some of them probably did, but it's hard for anyone to look good wearing a toga.
Well, tell me, Lonnie, how do you really feel about older men?
Oh, I like older men.
Yeah?
Yeah, I also like younger men, and I like men my own age.
Well, I must be in there somewhere. Just how old a man would you go out with? Would you go out with, say, George Burns?
You mean again?
You've been out with George?
Oh, yeah, he was a lot of fun, but it didn't work out. He said I was too old for him.
Oh, that old bounder. Boy, with him, if they're not still on pablum, they're over the hill. Lonnie, I understand you just finished a picture.
Yes, I did, and it's called Stand On It. And it won't be out for a while, but I'm really excited about it. I play this press agent that's very, very virtuous.
Well, is there anyone else in the picture? I mean, like a leading man type?
Yes, Burt Reynolds is a star.
Yeah, I've been waiting to get around to him.
I know.
The papers have been full of you two. How serious is it? What's going to happen?
Oh, Bob, actually, we're just very good friends.
Good friends. You need a fellow for that, huh?
Yeah, I need this one for that. But he's really very gorgeous, and now I'd like to get back to talking about George Burns.
Why?
Well, because every time I mention his name, Bert gets so jealous.
Well, how jealous does he get when he sees you and me kissing on the show?
Oh, that doesn't bother him at all. No, he knows that's only make-believe.
Make-believe? I must be a better actor than I thought. Lonnie, before you go, just for kicks, let's put Bert to another test, huh?
Oh, that's okay with me.
And you think this job is easy? Thank you, Lonnie. Lonnie Anderson, right there. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mac Davis again to sing his own composition, Christmas is for Kids.
Christmas is for kids. Look around and you will see kids from 1 to 93, laughing, loving life and being kids. Christmas is for kids. Kids like you and little brother, grandpa, grandma, even mother, me and dad and all the other kids. Daddy runs the electric train while all the children wait in vain. Take that turn as playing engineer. Grandpa pinches grandma's cheek as all the family sneaks a peek. Suddenly their wrinkles disappear. Take a look at Betty Jo, standing beneath the mistletoe, pretending that she doesn't know it's there. And out in the front yard, Uncle Mike just fell off brother's brand new bike. It's Christmas cheer and laughter everywhere. Kids, Christmas is for kids. Christmas time is here again. Now is when the fun begins. This time of year we all turn into kids.
Bob, it's nice of you to take time from your crazy schedule to drop in on me here in Arizona. You know, this is kind of way out yonder on a big flat rock.
Well, I had a half hour between planes, and I was right nearby.
Well, where were you?
Rochester. Hey, but how can you stand it here, Duke? There's nothing for miles and miles.
Wrong. There's an Indian reservation just down the road.
No kidding. Are they friendly?
They better be, or they won't work in my next picture.
By the way, I think I have a great idea for your next picture. It's a Western with Jimmy Carter. You can call it True Grits.
Maybe we can get him to work for Peanuts.
Why not? Peanuts have been working pretty well for him. But it's great to see you, Duke. You and I go back a long way together. I remember when I first met you, Charlton Heston was only up to his first commandment.
To the good old days, short confession.
Well, heavens to Smiley Burnett, Duke. You've had a fabulous career. How many pictures have you made?
Oh, about 200.
Oh, boy. You sure spent a lot of time on horses. No wonder you walk funny.
You think I walk funny? You should see my horse. He's wearing a corrective saddle.
Was that your horse? I thought it was a camel. John, you're probably the most durable star in pictures. What's your secret?
Well, I think probably playing football at the University of Southern California did it for me.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, if that left end from Notre Dame hadn't stepped on my head, today I might be just another pretty face. By the way, Bob, what happened to yours?
Boy, I hate it when they're rich and clever, too. The pictures sure have changed, haven't they, Duke?
They sure have. Remember the old classics, Three Musketeers, King Kong?
It's a very, very good year for a young woman you're going to be meeting in this half hour. She is 17, and for her, 1982 is a year to rejoice. Rejoice is the theme of the Rose Parade this year, and the woman I'm talking about is the queen of the Tournament of Roses Parade. She'll be here in this half hour.
Good. It's a long way from Gilbert and Sullivan to William Styron. We'll find out just how far this morning from Kevin Kline, who starred on Broadway in Pirates of Penzance, and now in the film, Sophie's Choice.
I wanted to let Willard Scott take us through a three-part series at Christmas celebrations and traditions in America. But before we show you the first of that series, let's get the news from John Palmer at the news desk.
Good morning. Israel's Armed Forces Radio reports this morning that Israel and Lebanon will begin talks on withdrawal of foreign forces from Lebanon within the next 3 days. There's no official confirmation, but the radio report said U.S. Envoy Morris Draper had agreed with Lebanon's prime minister that the talks should begin before Christmas. Still no word on where those talks will take place. The government has just released the Consumer Price Index for the month of November. Economics correspondent Irving R. Levine has that story live from the Labor Department in Washington. Irving?
Good morning, John. The cost of living figures just put out here at the Labor Department provide reasonably good news for the holidays. The Consumer Price Index rose only 0.1% in November, less than in the previous month. Food prices also rose only 0.1%. Prices for poultry and fish dropped slightly. Home prices rose 0.2%, reflecting the recent pickup in home sales resulting from lower mortgage interest rates. Medical costs rose a full percentage point. Higher doctor's fees and hospital charges have been pushing up health care costs consistently. Gasoline prices rose 0.3% despite the continuing oil glut. The rise of 0.1% in the Consumer Price Index in November virtually ensures an inflation rate for this year of less than 6%, compared to 8.9% last year and 12.4% in 1980. But to take a rather longer view, what $10 could buy 15 years ago now costs $29.36. That's an increase of almost 200% in the cost of living in just over a decade and a half.
I'm Carol Hutchison, NBC News, Los Angeles. With this late development, doctors in Las Vegas have just finished 2.5 hours of open-heart surgery on actor Jerry Lewis. Desert Springs Hospital spokesman say he is in unstable condition. 56-year-old Lewis walked into the emergency room yesterday complaining of chest pain. Doctors made the decision early today to perform a double bypass operation after tests revealed blockage in the arteries feeding the heart. His chances of recovery are said to be good. Now back to the Today Show in New York with Jane Pauley and Lloyd Dobson.
The United States, along with its trading partners, is facing growing problems with trade balances. The problems were discussed with Chief U.S. Trade Negotiator William Brock during our first hour. Today's Chief Washington correspondent, Judy Woodruff, has a report now. Judy?
John Brock said he agrees with a recent statement by Secretary of State Schultz that the problem of the world economy is the most critical issue facing the U.S. next year.
If you look at what's happening, trade has declined for the first time since World War II for 3 years running now. The financial problem facing not just Brazil and Mexico, but countries around the world is really serious. Interest rates are so high, the rate of inflation remains, productivity is slowed down. All of that says that we're in very tough shape worldwide, not just here in the United States. We're better than most.
Brock said the United States is setting an example for the rest of the world of a way out of this economic crisis by trying to head off pressures to protect threatened domestic industries and by stimulating the economy here. But he acknowledged that recovery has not occurred yet and said it won't happen until the federal budget gets under control. Unlike President Reagan, who has said recovery is the only way to get rid of the federal deficit, Brock said that the Congress has to trim government spending and that the administration should reevaluate the need for scheduled tax cuts. John?
Thank you, Judy. At 8:35, that's the latest in the news department from the Today Show, at least from our desk. Now, here's Jane Pauley.
Willard Scott will have the weather in a moment, and then the King of the Pirates goes legit after a message.
All of these soft drinks have caffeine, all of them. Surprised? Now you can't see.
I don't know, maybe Willard's just a little late in answering his mail, but I don't see any frost or snow or anything on those sunflowers.
I thought we might have a little shot of springtime here or summertime. These, of course, are sunflowers of the great state of Kansas. I had a nice letter from the Secretary of State of the state of Kansas, and he said that I referred to the sunflowers as daisy. Well, I'm an old farm boy, and I don't think I would do that unless I did it by mistake. But look at their new slogan for the state of Kansas. Kansas, the land of Oz.
How do you spell Oz? A-H...
H-S, as in the Wizard of. But I think that's clever. Thank you very much. Now, that's corrected. All the information's back intact, and I'll see what I can do with our Weather Act. We have some very nice weather here in the east today. As a matter of fact, the sun is going to be coming out pretty soon. You're going to have a fairly decent day to do your shopping. We do have a wind chill factor in effect down throughout the mid-Atlantic states. Washington, D.C., 45, but the wind chill will make it feel like 25. 20s up here in the northern tier states, Minnesota, and around the Great Lakes. Cooler air for sure, and snow squalls in the mountains of West Virginia, Western Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, into New England. Portland, Maine could get some more snow today. But as I say, we'll have some puffy sunshine, and tomorrow could even be better. Warming trend throughout the nation's midsection, all up and down the Mississippi Valley. Southern Florida is in great shape. Just above this point out of here, some morning fog in southern Texas, and pleasant and lovely in the southwest as well. The big weather problem today,
More mountain snows. This is the third or fourth in a series of storms in the last 2 weeks. Gale warnings along the coast, San Francisco up to Seattle. Heavy snows in the Cascades of Washington, Oregon, the Sierra Nevada range of Northern California, up to a foot of additional snow. That's a lot of snow, and windy conditions in Nevada. We say that this whole system has a good shot as it moves across the country of producing a white Christmas. This is a speculative forecast. Tomorrow we'll have a better handle on it in parts of the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. We will see. We are due one here in the Northeast. About 1 out of every 13 is a white Christmas in New York. Now, let's check and see what's happening in your world this morning.
It'll be mostly cloudy today, but cooler. A high of 66 expected in downtown Los Angeles.
Mrs. Catherine Thomas is very happy it's her birthday. She's 100 years old, and she's happy about something else. She lives in Dixon, Illinois. Dixon, Illinois, you say? Rings a bell? President Reagan's birthplace. Happy birthday. And now here's Lloyd.
Kevin Kline won critical praise, as well as my own, as the Pirate King in the Broadway production of The Pirates of Penzance. Now he's starring in Sophie's Choice, and recently he talked to Gene Shalit about the new movie.
It's very difficult to talk about your role without ruining the film for people who are going to see it. How would you describe Nathan, the character you play in Sophie's Choice?
Holy potato. He is, well, he's rarely what he seems, and he's a cellular biologist, Harvard graduate, extremely bright, extremely sort of a polymath. He's read everything, he knows everything about everything.
And he's in love.
Madly, deeply, lethally in love.
Right.
I mean, with Sophie.
What comes to your mind if I say Meryl Streep?
Sophie. I remember her distinctly as Sophie in Sophie's Choice, the movie.
In this film, she plays a Polish refugee from Hitler and from the Nazi concentration camps, and she speaks throughout in broken English. Kevin, did Meryl Streep use her Polish accent even when you weren't filming, actually?
She could turn it on and off. She did keep it up during most of the shooting day.
Thank you for making me to bloom like a rose.
Not to bloom, just bloom. She's so good, it's about time she was perfect.
Yeah, to bloom, so what? I mean, that's a ridiculous language, and there's too many words. The word for velocity, okay, there's fast, quick, rapid, and they all mean the same thing.
Swift, speedy,
Hasty,
fleet,
brisk,
expeditious,
accelerated.
winged.
No, stop it. It's ridiculous. Oh, in French it's so easy. You say vite, or in Polish szybko, in Russian bistro. It's only in the English. It's so complicated.
I mean, when she stopped talking that way, I was kind of jolted a couple times. Oh, yes, that's the way she talked. Because it was, when I first heard it at the first read-through, I was completely knocked out because I did not see Meryl Streep. I saw this Polish actress that they had brought in. I mean, it was Sophie. It was amazing.
Kevin, it all began back in St. Louis, Missouri. Tell me about it. Where did you go to high school?
Went to school called St. Louis Priory, which is small, very, very good school run by Benedictine monks.
You ever got interested in acting?
I did, but not because of the school. There was no drama club, or anything. They rather frowned on that sort of thing. Dramatics was not a big deal. Although we did do a senior play every year, and when I was a senior, we did a play by Plautus, which the headmaster, as I recall, wanted us to do in Latin, but we convinced him that it would play better probably in English. So we did it in English, and that's where I think where I first got interested in it, because it was fun. I had fun.
Kevin, can somebody really teach another person how to act?
If they're really good, they can teach you how to think about acting. same, I mean, it's almost like, can someone teach you how to live? Yeah. But there is some training that can be had. And there are people, if you find one or two along the way who can